Yes, sir. And welcome back to another Arena Breakout video. It is your boy, you know what I'm saying, Flotan Z. For those that are new here, I make motivational based and life based commentary using real in-game scenarios to relate back to real life situations. And if that's something that you're into, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. You know, we enough for those that have been here. You know, I appreciate the love. We are back, baby. You know what I'm saying? I know it's been a long time since I have dropped you guys a video. But, you know, life be doing this thing. You know, I told you guys, new job, and I didn't have any money, you know, no internet, a lot of random, you know, whatever. But we're in it. So, the name of the game, the topic of the day, you feel me, is perception, right? How we perceive things, people, you know what I'm saying, events, you know what I'm saying? It's one way to say that your thoughts impact, you know what I'm saying, your life. If your thoughts impact your life in general, then the way that you perceive things would impact how you think, right? So how you perceive things is just as important as the thoughts themselves, right? Let me give you a classic, the half empty, half full scenario. You know, a lot of people said you can have a half full and be, you know, more grateful that it could be empty, or it's half empty, I'm missing some. Or you could be like, I'm grateful for what I have. Very, very basic things when you think about it, but we very, very seldom tend to lack the perception where it counts, right? So today I had a situation where somebody said something about me, and I didn't necessarily agree with it. They called me rude and childish. Okay, that's very nice of you to, and the perception is probably wrong. I don't really think I'm childish at all, nor do I feel that I'm very rude. I'm very respectful in the lines of, you know, what it is. Like, am I overly nice? No, I have no intentions on being either. I'm just not I'm a kind person. I'm not a nice person. I like to say that a lot. Like, I'm very straightforward, right? But this person also deems themselves a straightforward person. The problem with that is that they perceive themselves to be a certain way, but it doesn't co-align with the way the world works. You can be a certain way, but you don't get to diminish other people in the process. You can be a certain way, but also understand that other people are allowed to be that way as well. You get what I mean? We often kind of lose that, like in our grand gestures and our grandiose views of ourselves and how we think we're so advanced and we think we know things. We actually seldom tend to slip where it matters the most, and it really just comes down to how you would like things to be handled. I wish I would have known this one a little bit like earlier, where there are no shortcuts, right? And a classic thing is people will often take how they feel and perceive a situation and be so bound by their emotion and their logic, not general logic, but their own logic to how things are supposed to work, that they will seldomly play themselves out of the situation itself. There's a thing, right, where at my job where they're like, okay, you should lead by example. Boom. Cool, right? They love to bring up the rules and things like that. And I'm a very particular person that when you tend to be very hard and abide by rules, I tend to very check to see how hard you tend to actually abide by your own rules. There's basically you set and lead the example. Being in a position where you are supposed, let's say you got a younger sibling. You are the older sibling, right? And let's say you're mad because your sibling talks back or whatever, they disrespect you, they don't listen to you and all of those things, right? Where would they have gotten the behavior from? And that's where we all round it out to, right? Perception is often how we think we perceive a situation, but what we fail to do is perceive how our actions impact the actions of others around us. A lot of the time, people don't understand that they draw the reactions out of people that they get. But due to a lot of people aren't really socially aware for how much their actions actually fall back on them, right? And then they sit there and blame and shame the world because they didn't get their way. But you always have to be the person that puts themselves forward. The only way you can really do that is to have a very, very good sense of perception in the things around you. Like, you have to be able to perceive actions at their core meaning. You know what I mean? If you see someone upset, right? And instead of saying, "Oh wow, they have an attitude," maybe think about why. If your entire thing is you don't want them to have an attitude, right? Or you don't want them to be a certain way, wouldn't it be easier to simply help them not feel than to question them about why and make them feel bad about why they feel that way? You get what I mean? It's like oftentimes we'll see someone sad and be like, "Oh dude, why are you sad? Everybody else has something going on. You're not the only one with something going on." And I used to be a very hard abider by that due to just how I was raised. But then I had to really think about it. That's so minimizing, bro. So because you have something going on, I'm not allowed to have my own emotions. Like, do you understand how the perception that people should be a certain way could lead us to minimizing these people and actually taking away from the humanity that we're actually portraying to have? You understand? Like, people get so caught up in trying to do the right things that they actually end up doing the wrong things because they're actually not paying attention. Like, you can't be such in a rush to be a hero that you burn down the city in the process. Like, yeah, we appreciate the Avengers, fighting off the aliens, but you destroyed my house in the process, and now I don't have anywhere to live. You get what I mean? You have to, sometimes we really gotta slow it down. And this often is going to correlate to the magnitude of the things that you want, right? If you, let's say, like, you're in a relationship, relationships require a lot of patience, understanding, and perception. You're supposed to be able to understand your partner's actions and stuff really without them explaining it, but they still have to be willing to explain them. It's really about knowing who they are. You get what I mean? It's about knowing who people are and how people are. At the core, people are sad for different reasons, but people all get sad. And when people get sad, they exhibit certain behaviors. Like, when people go through things, like, they lash out. This, I believe, carries into a lot of people. A lot of people, they just lash out in different ways, and it just gets minimal as you go older. Like, yeah, you might not go out there and cuss everybody and be like, screw the world, but people still lash out in certain ways, and it can be not taking care of themselves or just generally not caring. That could be somebody's way of lashing out. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many things that when we switch our mindset to how can I help, you know what I'm saying? Why is this way? You know what I mean? Like, what caused this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of being like, why are you mad? Like, oh, why are you mad? Like, yo, dude, like, what made you upset? You know what I mean? Like, we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes I always say be the hand that reaches out. You feel me? I love that saying for some reason, because it basically just goes to putting yourself in other people's shoes, putting yourself in their situation. Like we always say, everybody got something going on, but we all ain't got the same thing going on at the same moment. We all don't feel the same way about it. You know what I mean? Like, that is, like, really, just next time, before you hit somebody with your judgments and you tell them all these things to minimize who they are, just check to see if they're all right first. You get what I mean? And I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Never.